There's a place on Earth where money means nothing at all. It's called Bhutan, a forgotten kingdom wrapped in the clouds of the Himalayas, where traffic lights don't exist, where people don't chase growth, but seek one rare thing: happiness. Bhutan was never isolated by force. They chose to disappear, holding their ancestors' soul in the arms of the mountains. The British tried in the 18th century to reach them, but failed. It wasn't until 1974 that Bhutan opened a small door, allowing just a few outsiders in. Even today, only a handful of nations are granted diplomatic ties. That's why their traditions, their architecture, their way of life remain untouched, like a living memory of another world. What would you choose? A world of rush and noise, or a slower life that breathes peace? If you believe that success isn't about money, but about peace within, stay with me. Bhutan might just change how you see life. If the world measures success with money, what does Bhutan use? They call it the gross national happiness, a metric that lives not in banks, but in the hearts of the people. Its foundation stands on 4 sacred pillars: sustainable development, environmental protection, cultural preservation, and good governance. Here, they even have a Minister of Happiness, whose sole mission is to help people feel more joy every day. And Bhutan's king has declared, time and again, that his people's happiness is worth more than all the gold in the world. Do you believe a nation without material wealth can still be rich? Look at Bhutan, just 800,000 people, 14,000 square miles, yet the first country to be carbon negative. Its people live in harmony with nature, spirit, and breath itself. If happiness is humanity's ultimate goal, then maybe, just maybe, Bhutan got there long before the rest of us. Can you believe it? There's a country that completely bans the sale and production of tobacco. Not out of control, but out of care for the health and happiness of its people. Bhutan, the only nation to do so. And just a few decades ago, this land was nearly sealed off from the world. It wasn't until the 1960s that King Jigme Dorji Wangchuck began unlocking the gates, leading Bhutan into a careful path of modernization. But instead of chasing mass tourism, they chose high value, low impact, to protect the environment, preserve culture, and keep their mountain soul intact. Do you agree that not every open door leads to progress? Bhutan joined the United Nations in 1971. They have internet, young people scrolling screens, but they still keep a respectful distance from the world. Proof? Only a handful of embassies across the globe, because they know not every connection brings happiness. Can you imagine a country almost invisible on the global political map? Bhutan, a land that chooses neutrality, no alliances, no wars, like a silent cloud drifting past the storms of mankind. The first Europeans to arrive were 2 Portuguese Jesuits. Crossing mountains through the Dzongri Pass in 1627, they met the spiritual leader Zhab Drung Ngawang Namgyal and recorded the very first glimpses of a world unknown to the West. Then, in the 18th century, the British, led by George Bogle, tried to open formal ties with Bhutan, but failed. They left behind were journals filled with awe and wonder. It wasn't until 1999 that Bhutan allowed television and internet. What do you think? Could a nation living without social media until the end of the 20th century have found more peace, or missed something vital? Maybe, sometimes, what arrives late arrives just on time. Bhutan was the last country in the world to introduce radio broadcasting in 1988, and only then did the modern world truly echo through its mountains. Still, the government kept a firm grip on content, prioritizing culture and education over commercial noise. You won't believe this, but locals used to feed marijuana plants into pigs. They didn't know it could be consumed, until they heard it on the radio. Now it's banned, and possession can lead to up to 5 years in prison. Until 1961, Bhutan didn't have a single paved road. People walked or rode horses. Today, buses, taxis and motorbikes connect major towns, but in the far reaches, it's still footpaths and yak trails. Bhutan remains one of the few countries without trains or a single railway line. So what do you think? Is a nation that moves slower truly behind, or simply walking a different path? Before post offices, Bhutanese messages were delivered by foot across mountain paths. Barefoot couriers carried letters, supplies, and sometimes the fate of entire families. Then, in 1962, Bhutan's modern postal system was born. Stamps appeared, and post offices opened. But if you think Bhutan fully opened its skies, look again. Paro International Airport, the country's only international gateway, is also one of the world's most dangerous airports. Tucked between sharp Himalayan peaks at 333 feet, pilots must weave like thread through mountain clouds. The runway? Barely 900 feet long. Landings are only allowed in clear daylight. And here's the twist. Only a handful of pilots worldwide are certified to land at Paro. So tell me, in a place where every letter once ran on foot, and every flight dances between life and death, can modernization truly take root without breaking the spirit of the mountains? If Bhutan touched your heart in any way, leave us a comment and share this video with someone who needs a little peace today. And don't forget to subscribe, so together we can explore more hidden wonders like Bhutan, a place that's not just a destination, but a journey within the soul. They call him the Dragon King, but his people call him the Heart of Bhutan. The Bhutanese monarchy began in 1907 with Ugyen Wangchuck, the first Druk Gyalpo. Since then, one single family has reigned for 5 generations. The current king, Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuck, ascended the throne in 2008 after his father stepped down with quiet dignity, educated in the UK and the US. But his heart never left the mountains. He's loved not for his crown, but for his closeness, for ruling not above his people, but among them. His wife, Jetsun Pema, elegant, artistic, a basketball lover, became the world's youngest queen at just 21. Together they embody the perfect blend of tradition and modernity. What do you think? Could a happy nation be built not just by policies, but by the hearts of its leaders? Maybe. Happiness isn't handed down, but held in the hands of those who walk with their people. Graceful, bright, educated in India and the UK, she became a modern icon of Bhutanese womanhood. With the king, they have 2 sons, and together they've led Bhutan into a new age. In 2008, Bhutan embraced a constitutional monarchy, rooted in Buddhism, compassion, and modern ideals. The king no longer rules by decree, but remains the spirit that holds his people together. And if one place captures Bhutan's soul, it's Tiger's Nest, a monastery clinging to the cliffs of Paro, where Guru Rinpoche is said to have meditated in the 8th century, opening Bhutan's path to Buddhism. Maybe true power isn't held on a throne, but rises from the mountain that unites a nation. There's a temple, perched on the edge of the sky, where a master once arrived, on the back of a tigress. Legend says Guru Rinpoche flew from Tibet, riding a queen transformed into a tiger. He meditated in a cave there for 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, and 3 hours, taming local demons, turning them into protectors of the Dharma. Tiger's Nest was later built around that very cave, its narrow paths carved into stone, linking sacred shrines together. And beneath that sacred peak lies Thimphu, Bhutan's capital, where no traffic lights exist. Instead, officers stand at intersections, gracefully directing cars by hand. Though it's the heart of politics, Thimphu remains as calm as a monastic retreat. Can a city without traffic lights still shine brighter than any skyline? On a hilltop above Thimphu stands Buddha Dordenma, a massive statue towering 169 feet. His gaze watches over the capital, blessing it with stillness. But Thimphu is just one sacred thread in Bhutan's spiritual tapestry. Paro, with Tiger's Nest, and Paro Dzong, Phunt Choling, a gateway to India, Punakha. The old capital and home of the Palace of Happiness, Jakar, host of mystical religious festivals. Trongsa, birthplace of the royal Wangchuck dynasty. Here, Buddhism isn't a belief, it's the rhythm of daily life. Prayer flags flutter across the mountains, carrying blessings and mantras on the wind. And above all stands Je Khenpo, the deeply revered spiritual leader of Bhutan. So tell me, what if faith wasn't something you believed, but something you breathed in the wind, the stones, and the hearts of the people? In Bhutan, there is one who holds no political power, yet is revered as the living light of Dharma. Je Khenpo, the nation's highest spiritual leader, is seen as the embodiment of all Buddha's wisdom and compassion. Personally appointed by the king, chosen from the most learned and virtuous monks, he serves for life. He not only guides the spirit, but also advises the king and government on ethics and harmony. Under his watch, Bhutan has over 200 monasteries and nearly 17 Isiwamtranta monks and nuns. Some begin their path at age 6, rising at 4:30 a.m. to meditate, chant, study philosophy, and work for their communities. They live in the present, untouched by past regrets or future fears. What kind of nation entrusts its soul to those who speak softly, yet keep the culture shining bright? Bhutan. Not just the kingdom of happiness, but the kingdom of awakening. Shaving the head and donning the robe isn't about leaving life behind, but entering a realm where every word, every breath aims toward awakening. Bhutanese monks spend years in spiritual training, meditating, chanting, studying, and rising through levels of wisdom, compassion, and self-discipline. They follow the Vinaya, strict precepts like celibacy, non-violence, and renouncing material comforts, yet they don't retreat. They remain to guide their communities through compassion and clarity. Monastic debates aren't about victory, but about going deeper into the Dharma. Living together, monks cultivate humility, mutual respect, and a powerful sense of shared purpose. And here, even language becomes a form of mindfulness. Dzongkha is the official tongue, but Bhutan speaks in over 20 languages and dialects, each mountain, each river, finding its own sacred way to speak. If Bhutan touched your heart in any way, leave us a comment, and share this video with someone who needs a little peace today. And don't forget to subscribe, so together we can explore more hidden wonders like Bhutan, a place that's not just a destination, but a journey within the soul. In Bhutan, hello is Kuzuzangpo, thank you is Kadrin Che, and compassion isn't just spoken, it's lived. Buddhism teaches love for all beings, so killing animals is forbidden. There are no slaughterhouses. Meat, if consumed, is imported from India. Yet most Bhutanese are vegetarian by heart. Stray dogs are fed, yaks are cared for, cows are treated like family. With 90% of people living rurally, nature isn't a resource, it's a mentor. Bhutan's constitution mandates that at least 60% of the land must always remain forested. Parks like Wangchuck Centennial protect Bengal tigers, red pandas, snow leopards. What kind of nation doesn't just protect its mountains, but also its soul? Bhutan, not just a land of happiness, but a place where compassion is national policy. In the frozen peaks of Bhutan, where no human tracks remain, some creatures live in silence, like the snow leopard, roaming above 10,000 feet. Shy, elusive, and nearly invisible, the snow leopard embodies quiet resilience. So too does the strength of Bhutanese women. In this matrilineal society, wealth passes from mother to daughter, granting women real social and economic power. From farming to teaching to government, women are at the heart of Bhutanese life. In cities, they lead in skilled role. In villages, they manage homes and grow food. Love marriages are rising. Yet in rural areas, families still consult astrologers to match soulmates. And in many homes, it's the men who cook, sew, and support the household. Can true strength come not from dominance, but from trust, balance, and deep mutual respect? In Bhutan, a woman could once marry. Two brothers from the same family, polyandry, rare around the world, still exists in remote areas like Brokpa and Laya. It kept land and livestock within the family, in places where survival meant staying close. Polygamy, too, was once common among nobility. The former king had 4 queens. But time changed everything. Education spread, and younger generations began leaving the mountains for new ways of life. Today, adult literacy stands at 70%, but among youth, it soared to 93%. And when Bhutanese greet one another, they don't reach out. They place their hands together, bow gently, and say, Namaste. A greeting, but also a reminder to slow down, to honor each other, and to remember. Happiness doesn't come from far away. It begins within the heart. If you visit Bhutan and see someone spitting red, don't be alarmed. They're chewing doma, a mix of betel nut, lime and leaf, mildly stimulating, but not great for your health. And if you ask them, when's your birthday? They might smile and say, we're all born again on the first day of the new year. In Bhutan, birthdays aren't tracked because one Losar, one new year, is enough to begin again. Losar, based on the Tibetan lunar calendar, falls between January and March. Homes are cleaned to sweep out bad luck. Prayers are offered, kapse is fried, and sujar, butter tea with salt, is poured. There are no personal parties because Bhutanese culture is about us, not me. So tell me, what if happiness isn't in a birthday cake, but in a salty cup of tea, shared with people who truly care? In Bhutan, a name isn't just identity, it's a prayer. Except for royals, Bhutanese don't use family names. Newborns are often named by a lama based on astrology, birth timing, and the hopes of the parents. Every name is a blessing, like Tashi Dorji, prosperity and diamond, or Pema Lazom, lotus and heavenly goddess. The first name is often gender neutral, but always rich in meaning. And beyond names lies the stars. Astrology in Bhutan guides weddings, careers, even rebirth. When a great lama passes, astrologers are called to locate the time and place where his soul will return. What kind of place sees a name as a mantra and a child as the echo of a soul that never really left? In Bhutan, healing comes from herbs, meditation, and trust. Traditional medicine blends Tibetan Buddhism, Indian Ayurveda, and ancient Himalayan wisdom. The third king founded the Institute of Traditional Medicine to preserve this alongside modern care. Perhaps this harmony and the philosophy of gross national happiness is why Bhutan has one of the world's lowest crime rates. Violent crimes are rare because people are taught to live with inner kindness. At the heart of every region stands a dzong, part monastery, part fortress, where spirit and society unite. And on Bhutan's flag roars a mythic creature, Druk, the thunder dragon. In its claws, 4 jewels, symbols of prosperity, wisdom, and national joy. What kind of nation needs no walls? Because within their hearts, a dragon already guards their peace. In Bhutan, fortresses aren't just for defense, they're for devotion. The dzongs, blending monastery, government and soul, like Punakha Dzong, the palace of great happiness. Up in the Himalayas, over 14,000 feet high, blooms Bhutan's national flower, the rare blue poppy, Mechanopsis gachidiana. In the skies soars the Himalayan raven, sacred protector of the kingdom. Kings wear the raven crown, queens the phoenix crown. On the ground roams the takin, a mythical beast said to be crafted by the divine madman. Goat's head, cow's body, and across the fields echoes the twang of dar, archery, Bhutan's national sport, more ritual than game. What kind of country weaves together gods, arrows, myths, and joy? If Bhutan touched your heart in any way, leave us a comment and share this video with someone who needs a little peace today. And don't forget to subscribe, so together we can explore more hidden wonders like Bhutan, a place that's not just a destination, but a journey within the soul. In Bhutan, archery isn't just a sport, it's a ritual of spirit. Tournaments take place outdoors, with distances up to 500 feet. When a karai target is hit, teammates sing and dance as if they pierced fortune itself. With bamboo or modern composite bows, the soul of Bhutan stays the same. Shoot to live, to connect. In the misty mountains, people whisper of Migoi, Bhutan's Yeti. Some say it's a sacred forest guardian, others call it a shadowy being. No one's ever proven it, yet belief drifts through the snow, silent but present. And in everyday life, Bhutanese wear go and kira, traditional garments required in public. Because here, dressing isn't just tradition, it's a reminder of where we belong. In Bhutan, food isn't just for survival. It's the flavour of the nation's soul. There are no fast food chains, only dishes like Ema Datshi, a creamy stew with fiery chili and local cheese, served with red rice, grown in the mineral-rich soils of Paro, still wrapped in its bran, packed with nutrients and the taste of the mountains. Each meal sings a bold, earthy melody, from spicy chicken jasha maru to sun-dried beef, shakam pa with radish. And during the festivals comes charm, the sacred mask dance, where monks become gods, demons, animals. They don't just dance, they kum, they purify as they bless. This is Bhutan, where every bite, every step, breathes the spirit of the Himalayas. In Bhutan, you're not just drinking tea, you're sipping centuries of tradition. Try suja, fermented black tea with salt and butter, warming your soul in Himalayan chill. Or take a shot of ara, a spirit distilled from maize and barley, the fire of the highlands in liquid form. Then walk the sky bridges, suspended between earth and heavens, from Punakha's 518-foot prayer-flagged span to Tahog Bridge, built in the 15th century by a saint engineer, floating over sacred rivers. And towering above it all is Kangkar Punsum, the world's highest unclimbed peak. Bhutan isn't just a country, it's a living myth, hanging between the clouds and the divine. In Bhutan, climbing sacred peaks is forbidden. These mountains are homes of deities, and since 2003, all climbs above 6,000 meters are banned, not for danger, but out of reverence for the divine. Yet you can still walk through clouds to where heaven brushes earth. Along the road from Thimphu to Punakha, you'll find Dochula, moss-covered meditation mounds like silent hearts in prayer. And in Tang Valley lies Mebar Cho, the burning lake. Legend says the Saint Pema Lingpa dove into its waters holding a burning butter lamp. He emerged with ancient Buddhist treasures and the flames still alive. In Bhutan, every lake, every mountain holds a sacred story still whispering in the wind. Since then, Mebar Cho has been sacred, its waters believed to heal and protect. Then rises Kyichu Lakang, built in just one day by a Tibetan king to pin down a demon beneath the Himalayas. But the most mysterious moment happens at midnight in Jambe Lakang, a secret naked dance, forbidden to tourists, performed only for the spirits. Further down, Kamsum Yuli Chorten, built in 1999 by the Queen Mother to bring peace to the world, and beneath these holy peaks, life flows quietly. Bhutanese people live from the land, rice, wheat, yaks, and hydropower from glacial rivers. They don't seek riches, just peace, and the rivers sing like prayers through the valleys. Inside Bhutan's National Library lies the world's largest book, weighing over 132 pounds, nearly 5 feet tall. It holds an entire kingdom between its pages. Here, too, is one of the greatest collections of Buddhist literature ever gathered. But the real treasure lies beyond the library, in the spiritual retreats hidden in the Himalayan wild. No signal, no distractions, just breath, bells, and the stillness of self. You meditate, you go silent, and you meet your own soul. Planning to go? Unless you're from India, Bangladesh, or the Maldives, You'll need a visa. And when you return, come back to this video and tell us, who did Bhutan help you become? Planning to visit Bhutan? Prepare for a journey unlike any other. Since 2022, independent travel is allowed, but it's costly, $200 per day for a sustainable development fee, not including food or lodging. Loud music? Not allowed. Photos? Only with permission. Tobacco is banned for sale. Single-use plastics banned since 1999. Dress modestly in temples. And beware of high altitude. If you're from India, you may enter without a visa. Avoid criticizing the royal family or discussing politics, because Bhutan is not just a destination. It's a state of the soul. If you want to continue discovering untold mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because the next video might change the way you see the universe.